up, y'all? I have not done one of these in forever, but you know, why not? No reason. Let's just do it, right? I really loving Fantastic Factories, and I just wanted to do a quick explanation of the how to play, and then just a quick chat about what I enjoy about it and what's I feel like so good. So what I have here is I have a game set up like you would be started. So you lay out a row of contractors, you'll lay out a row of blueprints of 4, and then you'll randomly select these. It does not matter what order these go in. They can be arranged any way you like, randomly. Then just set up your resources and piles. You've got energy, you've got steel, you've got goods, and you've got extra dice, okay? So let's talk about our player board for a second and icons, because it takes a second to kind of get yourself used to all the icons that are in the game, but once you've got that, you know, it's a really straightforward and pretty simple game. So this is your headquarters. You've got research, you can generate, and you can mine. So with research, you are going to, this is where you will generate more blueprint cards, okay? And then generate is where you're going to make more energy, and mining is where you're going to make steel. So what's going to happen is everybody starts with 2 energy, 1 steel, there are 4 dice, and 4 random blueprint cards to start their hand, okay? So if this was my starting hand, this is what I would have going on here, okay? So the way this is going to work is you are going to be rolling your dice, and you got to decide where and how you want to put them, okay? So like here, I've got a 1, a 4, a 3, and a 6. So the way this works is I can put anything in research, and that's what the question mark's showing here, and that means I'll get a card, okay? And generate, I can put a dice here, but only a 1, 2, or 3, okay? So my only options currently out of what I just rolled is my 1 and my 3. And it generates the amount of energy on the dice. So if I put this one there, I'm gonna get 3 energy. If I put this one there, I'm gonna get 1 energy. In mining, I can only put a 4, 5, or 6, and it doesn't matter the number on there. I'm gonna get 1 steel, okay? So I could put my 4 and my 6 there. Now, you've got this match bonus going on. So anytime that you can match in any 3 categories, you can match the dice numbers, you'll get 1 extra. And in the case that you can match all 3, you'll get 2 extra of that resource. So right now I didn't roll any doubles at all, so I don't have the option of that. But had I rolled, say, like 2 3s, I could have put, so like right here, if I had these 2 3s, I would get 6 energy plus an extra for matching, so that'd be 7. And in the case that I had rolled 3 3s, or I had cards that allowed me to manipulate my dice, in this case I'd get 9 energy plus 2 extra, so I'd get 11 energy. So that's kind of how the dice system is going to work in your headquarters. And if you look at your legend, you have all of your icons here. You've got metal, energy, goods, prestige is your points, contractors, and blueprints. Your worker dice, this obviously that means any energy, any value, specific value, and then equal values. You've got 5 different building types, which they'll come out and you'll see that they do different things. So like anything that's blue is going to be production based. So typically what's going to happen, you're going to want to build these things, right? So you've got 2 rounds that the game is built into. It is essentially, let me zoom that out, there we go. You've got 2 rounds that the game's built into, and you're either going to be hiring a contractor or drafting a card from the blueprints. And the reason this is important is like the architects and the miners, electricians, the specialists, the things that you get from the contractors, they're going to give you these one-time boosts when you hire them. So like the miner here, it says you're going to gain 3 steel, but then you're going to have to pick an opponent to gain 1 steel. And you're going to have to discard a shovel from your hand to pay for it. That's why it doesn't matter how this randomness is set up from here. Now, how do I discard a shovel from my hand? Well, our blueprints that are in our hand double as the resource that they show at the top. So you see the hammer here, you see the wrench here, the gear here, and another hammer. So this card doubles as the hammer, as a hammer resource. So I could build this from my hand if I had another hammer, a steel, and 2 energy. Or I could, in this case, in round 1, in phase one of a round, if I wanted to discard this to hire the specialist, I could do that because this resource matches here, okay? So the specialist ability would then trigger in that way. The same way with if I wanted instead to hire the architect, I could discard this black market because it would count as the gear needed there. And then boom, got that. Or what I might want to do is I may want to draft one of these cards into my hand in phase one because either A, I want to build it, or B, I need that resource to build something else in my hand. So like maybe I really wanted to build this fitness center. Well, I don't have any other wrenches in my hand. However, the laboratory has a wrench. So in phase one, I could draft this, bring it into my hand because I know I want to use it to be able to build the fitness center in phase two. So everybody will get a shot at taking either a contractor or a blueprint, and then they will allow themselves to, then we'll get into the second phase of the round where we roll these, place, and this you can do in any order. So like in this case, if I knew I wanted to build, like the fitness center is really cheap. I only need a steel, so I start with that. Let's say I was wanting to build something a little more heavy and I would have drafted the dojo into my hand instead because I really want to start the game with the black market, okay? So I'm gonna push those to the side for a second just so you can see how this works. So I know I need 3 steel and 2 energy to be able to build this, and I've got the wrench that I need. So where do I just rolled these, so now where do I put those to get that situation? I've got the energy, I just need to make 2 steel so that I've got that. So I've got 2 4s. So let's say I do this. Let's say I go here and here, right? So it's going to give me 2 steel plus I get a matching bonus. So I get to get 3 steel. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So now I've got 4 steel. So I've got plenty, but I still got 2 dice. So how do I want to seed my hand going forward? I could put the 5 down here and get another steel for the future. Or, you know what? I'm going to put the 5 up here and get another card into my hand. You have to draw this off the top. You don't get to pick from the market when you do research. And then I would really like to just like seed my hand with some more energy because energy, you need a lot of energy in the game. So right now I've got 4 of each and a pile of cards over here. So let's build the black market now. And again, you can do this in any order that you need to. So I'm going to discard my dojo that I built or that I drafted because of the wrench. So I'm paying the wrench on that. I'll make a discard pile over here. And then I need to discard 3 steel and 2 energy. And boom. Now, this is worth 1 point at the end of the game. And it is now I have this ability, okay? This utility. And this says, the question mark is, again, any value plus a card. So the way that these typically work is it's asking you, these are the things that you need to give. The arrow is almost like an equal sign. This is what you're going to get, right? So gain up to 4 resources equal to the build cost of the discarded blueprint. So that's really dope, you know? I'm going to be able to get a bunch of stuff on the black market. So that might be something I want to do early on, right? Like, that's great. And you're going to keep, and that's the round. Like, I still have these resources and I still have my cards over here. So if I wanted to build something else that I could, so like, in this case, I could actually toss the battery factory because it's a wrench. And I could also build the fitness center because I have an extra steel. So let's say I did that. So in this round, I've built 2 buildings. And what the fitness center is going to let me do is I can spend an energy to decrease the value of an unplaced die by 1. So that's great, right? Like if I roll, being able to manipulate the dice so that you can get match bonuses is really, really strong in the game. That's something that as you build out your tableau of buildings, you're going to have, like real early on, I'm like, boom, I got these 2 options. I'm going to build these things. But as you have like 6, 8, 7 buildings, you've got a lot of options going on for you to be able to do different things. And it really gets pretty thinky in those last couple of rounds. But what's great about the game is that it's right about that time is when the game's ending. So it doesn't drag on too long. So like I said, you've got these phases. You get the market phases where you can oh, and by the way, you can optionally you can pay a steel or an energy to discard and refill one marketplace row. So like if there's no blueprints that you want, you can replace that. Or if there's no architect or there's no contractors that you like, you can, or somebody else might like, you can grudge draft that a bit. You can toss a resource, clear that out, get some new stuff out there. And then you can gain the things that you want from that market phase. And then your work phase, you're going to roll in any order. You place all the things, build the things, and activate the things. And then you always have to discard down to 12 resources and 10 cards. The game ends when you have 12, so when someone has 12 goods or they've built 10 buildings. And then that just triggers. So you'll finish that particular round when someone has that, and then there'll be one more round. So you've got, what I like about that is you really, if you're in the middle of building something out, you've really got time to see your thing through. Now, the one thing we haven't talked about is goods. They're over here. So let me find you, oh, I have my battery factory. Let's say I had built my battery factory. What this is saying is anytime on my turn that I want to, in the work phase, I can trade in 4 energy. If I had 4 energy, I don't, it's only 2. I could trade in 4 energy for a good. Goods are worth points at the end of the game. That's where you get all your points. There's essentially just 2 things that score points. It's our buildings, like this is 1 point, this one's 0 because it was so easy to build, and that one's 1, and then our goods. So you're going to add all that together, and then that's going to be your total score. And you know your score is going to range anywhere from like say 15 to 22, something like that. So it's a really tight amount of scoring, and it's just really tight. So let's quickly talk about the different buildings that you've got. You've got these 5 different. You've got the productions, so that's going to be able to manufacture lots of goods. Training is going to let you typically change your dice face and do all those different things. Utility is going to produce resources, so you're going to like the black market here. You're really going to be able to pump out a bunch of resources. Your monuments are going to be worth extra prestige. So like this the word that I can never say, obelisk. Yeah, it's terrible. Redneckanese. It's worth 2 points. So yeah, that's what the monuments do. They're just going to be worth flat points. And then special, they have unique. The purple have unique abilities, like the laboratory here, for instance, is. It's just something you can activate, and you draw a blueprint any time that you gain a good. So this is really good. It's worth a point at the end. And if you know you're going to be using lots of, say, your blue production cards, then they combo well. So there's a lot of fun combos really to explore in the game and get into. And honestly, that's what I like about the game. I like that it plays quick. I like that it is one of those games where it feels a little different each time, and it allows you to really get in there. Oh, look at that. It's so cute. Oh, that's the first player token. It allows you to get in and just really build out your tableau, which feels very satisfying. It feels very satisfying to work through the mental puzzle of how I want to do these dice. There's some actual things that produce extra, like one round dice that you get. So sometimes you might be rolling like 5 or 6 dice, which really ramps up your match bonus potentials. So like right there, I've got 2 5s. That's great. 2 4s. So I can do a lot of fun stuff with that. If I've got something that lets me pump up 1 by 1, now I've got 3 5s. So it's like ka-chow. Check out all that steel. Boom, just got 5 steel. There's a lot of stuff that you can do with those that it's interesting. It's anyone can sit down and play it because the rules are simple, but then you can watch them really start to the wheels turn and enjoy the game. That's just what I like about it. And I love the aesthetic. It's very simple art. It's very straightforward art, but it just looks good. You know, it's just one of those games that looks good. If you get a chance, you should check out Fantastic Factories if you like tableau building and dice placement manipulation. All right, team. That was James. I know I haven't done one of these in forever, but that's Fantastic Factories. And that's why I think you should check it out.